Hello, investors. It is Connor Bates, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today is Wednesday, September 25th, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, coming to you with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Market state, still have the green uptrend there. And if we look at the trend gauge on the right side here, still have the four coveted green arrows. We remain in grow mode as it's been evident in the last couple of videos. So here are the final numbers. 21 over 21 list down 0.17%, 9 green, 1 neutral, 11 red. Big 8 up 0.31%, RG8 down 0.82%, S&P 500 down 0.19%, equal weight down 0.62%, QQQ up 0.09%, equal weight down 0.42%. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 0.72%. Mid caps down about 1%. Russell 2000 down 1.21%. 60/40 minus 0.39%. And in-house GROTECTION down 0.35%. So seeing that low volatility uptrend continue while select stocks are outperforming, and that's a great environment for swing position trading. So as usual, let's get into the charts, and I will start with the S&P 500 as usual. So pretty much flat today, and what we've been highlighting in the keys is holding above this breakout level, and as long as we hold above there, the green light's on. And we've really seen this volatility start to dry up. You can see this is a tight 5-day range. Look at the 60-minute, and you can see it's just getting really tight. And that's good to see because then we can see some outperformance in individual stocks. Look at the weekly chart. Trend looks great. Daily looks great. But just being proactive, we start to come below this level on volume that could signal a failed breakout. But for now, looks good. RSP, normal action, pulling back down about 0.5%. Still tight, really tight, low volatility. QQQ, outperformance today. And we're seeing that relative strength line follow through above the 21 day. So seeing some rotation back into tech. And kind of what we're watching is this 485 pivot and this cup and handle base pattern rec has it. But this can thrust through to the upside. That would be very bullish. And usually the strongest markets occur when tech leads. So that would be good. Look at the weekly. Big picture looks good. You can even argue this is kind of like a bull pennant on the weekly, and the 60-minute similar as the S&P, just really tight. No complaints with the action there. Dow Jones pulling back a little bit, but looks fine. Mid caps pulling back again, finding some resistance at the top end of the space. So maybe a pullback into the 21 day, build a few higher lows, could set this up for higher. Russell 2000. So this is an interesting setup here. Rejected this left side high and pulling back, but we've got 5 days down right into this 21 day, plus this 2200 psych level. So risk to reward on small caps, decent here, but obviously you're going to need to see this U-turn up. If you look at the 60-minute, pretty oversold and coming into this gap. So maybe it comes back, fills this gap that coincides with the 21 day. You have the stochastic pretty buried here as well. So there's definitely something we're watching here, but would like to see it U-turn and pretty clear downtrend line here if it can get through. The VIX pretty much flat on the day, slightly down, and living below 18 or between 16 and 18 bucks. Below that, volatility's dampened quite a bit, and that's great environment for the type of trading we like to do. And yeah, as long as this stays low, no complaints. The dollar, something to be aware of, upside reversal today off this low. And the last couple weeks, we've just been highlighting this. This is a pretty big key support area, this 100 level. Plus, you can factor in the positioning on the dollar is very negative. So meaning a lot of people are short, and when one side of a trade gets crowded, usually you can start to see it reverse course. And it undercut this level again today and closed high day on with a hammer candle. So if the dollar starts to bid back up, this could be an issue for equities, growth stocks, etc. So something to be aware of. But it's not affecting gold for now. Just continues to trend higher. Definitely, gold has a history of head fakes out of breakouts. You can see in this space here, there was, one, two head fakes, but this breakout right here on this day, and it's falling through to the upside. Gold miners, good for our nugget position, still holding the breakout spot and just riding the trend higher. No reason to fight it. Silver back into the high end of the base. A little bit extended short term, not the ideal area to buy if you're focused on silver. Couple tight days under these highs could set it up for a move through 29.56. Bitcoin, good action here, back above the 100-day moving average and forming a tight 5-day flag here. So, and been seeing some positive momentum in Bitcoin related stocks, but this is great for risk on. If this can bust through this little flag, just signal more risk on. Bonds pulling back to 21, TLT coming back into the 50. We'll see if this gets some release, and that coincides with rates starting to bounce back up here. So that's the inner asset correlation. Let's take a look at the tell the tape. Let's see. Okay. So news today, this is what prompted that mid-afternoon sell-off in the S&P, but Israel told troops to prepare for ground offensive against Hezbollah. Uh, just, a lot of news going on with the Middle East and the war. So that moved the market a little bit. Looking ahead into tomorrow, we have the jobless claims, GDP, Powell speaking along with a bunch of other Fed speakers. And we know they one wrong headline, the algos eat it up. So just be aware of those speakers tomorrow. The keys, we continue to hold above that support zone that I just mentioned. 11 days above the 8, 11 days above the 21. Today, we're viewing it as a consolidation day. Sectors wise, dollar was strong. Utilities, we continue to see rotation into these power utility type stocks. Tech was strong, natural gas and uranium. Weakness, oil, energy. Bitcoin was slightly down. Home builders, prompted by KBH Homes, had a negative reaction on earnings today, and regional banks. In-house, we added to Flutter. They had some news. I'll cover that when I get back into the charts. And then we also did some trimming on ServiceNow and Now, which is the levered home builder ETF. So bottom line, low volatility, uptrend continues, and we're still focused on finding low risk entries into stocks that we view as leaders. And yeah, so let's get into the charts. All right. So trade today, we added to Flutter. We took a starter yesterday. It was a good risk to reward. It touched this 226 top of the base. And luckily, good news hit. The news was they plan to double core revenue to 5 billion by 2027. And then they also approved a $5 billion buyback over the next 3 to 4 years. So that's gapped up overnight on that news. And then today we added a little bit, kind of came back down today, but as long as it holds above 226, looks good. And DKNG is another one. This is a sympathy pet play to, gambling related stocks. This is back above the 200-day, breaking a big downtrend line. And this coincides. Sometimes the most obvious investments are the easiest ones. And part of the thesis here was you have NFL, college football, all these sports starting back up. And a lot of people like to use DraftKings, FanDuel, and price is responding positively so far. And then ServiceNow, this one gapped lower a little bit today. The news was something, one second. Yeah, so the news was that the Department of Justice launched an investigation into Caresoft and SAP for alleged price fixing, and now is involved with them with major government contracts. So that moved a bit lower today on that, just down 3.5%, and now it's coming back into the 21 day. So we trimmed that. And then ITB, we trimmed, just kind of coming back into this top of this base. So locks them in. It was breaking the 8 EMA. Alrighty. So we'll take a look at the portfolio with individual names. NVIDIA continues to act well, had that moving average launch pad luck here and falling through today. Lilly just consolidating here at the 21. Kava, big move up, consolidating. ServiceNow, I covered. Oracle, still holding this gap, nice, and this one may start to U-turn and move higher, but overall, good action there. Tesla, another higher high today, and really once it broke this 235 level, it's really starting to ramping up, and obviously catalyst ahead. Uber continues to this 75 level was a key spot, broke back above, and as long as it can hold above the top of the base, looks good. MSTR, couple decent amount of days up into 150, so pausing here at this minor resistance, but acting well. And then Flutter, what I covered, 21 over 21 list. Top gainers, Flutter was up there. DoorDash coming into these 52-week highs. Sprouts Farmers Market, just a serial trender. This one just acts really smooth. C Limited, super strong breakout out of this 83 level and right into this profit zone. Tesla I covered, Palantir, no give back from the S&P 500 inclusion news. Axon, really nice trender on this one, coming into this 400 level and profit zone. GWRE, another gap and go, gapped up on earnings and has been trending ever since. GEV, another one, continues trend higher. GDX I covered, Uber I covered. And then Affirm, this one was a little weak, but still looks good. Comes back into this 21 day, could be a good risk reward entry. And then Zillow, another one that we're watching in that real estate theme. You expected them to really rally off that 50 basis point cut, but it did already rally into that news. So now it's cooling off. Some of the hot money might be selling. Now it's forming a nice 5-day consolidation on this flag. So this looks good. So that's the 21 list. So some notable things today. I just wanted to cover, keep an eye out. This is financials. 45, some key resistance here, and it's rolling back over through the 21 day. And this is just a sector to keep on watch because really since the 2023 lows, this has led the market. And some things are starting to roll over a little bit. JP Morgan rejecting this 50-day. This looks like a bit of a bear flag. Wells Fargo rejecting the 200-day, moving lower out of a bear flag. You got Charles Schwab below the 200-day. And then Bank of America, another one, kind of a bear flag-ish look below the 50-day. And Buffett's been selling a lot of financials. So does he know something? I don't know, but he did specifically sell another big batch of a Bank of America today. On a more positive note, we'll look at some of these electric utility stocks. First, let's take a look at XLU. Just a really nice trend here. Continues to move higher. And then you got names like GEV, total lockout rally, but with the AI data center angle, a lot of, this stock should benefit quite a bit. We'll look at CEG. After that Microsoft news gapped up, made a day 2 higher high, pulled back into that high volume close, and now confirming higher. VST, another one, just blasted through that 107, and it's not looking back, another higher high. And then First Solar's worth the look. This one lacking a little bit of relative strength, but it isn't still in this big range. 245 is a key level, can get back through, then maybe we start to see some of that power and a breakout. Take a look at semiconductors, stocks. As long as they can hold above the 50, that looks good. I showed NVIDIA just you look back on this chart, I can't find a time where the moving averages were this coiled. So this one looks like more biased to the upside. Chart looks good, and then that coincides with semiconductors off the 50-day, and then some of the best ones. Avgo looks good, continuing higher. TSM looks great. Arms coming back around, little tight cup and handle pivot here. See if we can get through 150. Could be nice trender. And then MU. So they reported earnings after the bell today. Huge move, up 13%. That's propelling tech a little bit higher after hours, but getting back above the 200-day moving average is a great start. And this saw a huge decline. And now to see it coming back around on earnings, view that as positive for tech and semiconductors as a whole. And then taking a look at some other tech, Meta, they announced some new virtual reality stuff today, and this after it broke out, continuing higher. Netflix, probably the second best big tech name right now. This one, as long as it holds above that 700 Livermore level, maybe this makes a run higher, 750, 800, two psych levels above, and to watch out. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything I got today. So that is going to wrap it. As always, like to hear from you. My email is connor@revereasset.com, and you can reach out to Dan or Don at revereasset.com. Phone is 855 Real Wealth. That is 855-732-5932. And if you're interested in becoming a client, please reach out. And with that, I'll wrap it for September 25th. This is Connor Bates with Revere Asset Management, telling it like it is. Thanks for listening and have a great evening.